Alright, hi everybody, it's BANKAIS. Last manga chapter for today. Yeah. Bleach. Wow. This one gets a 4 out of 5. Now, this was pretty good to a certain extent. Now, this was called Stormbringer. Um, this Stern Ritter, Bg9. Oh my god. I'm convinced that if he were to take off his helmet, you see Arnold Schwarzenegger. Hey, this guy talks like a fucking machine. He said, what part of this chapter? He said, optimal. I was like, damn. But yeah, this chapter was pretty much Omeade and Soi Fong against this guy Bg9. Now, seemingly it seems like at the end of this chapter, the Stern Raiders are going to do their counterattack. You know, but it's kind of funny because this chapter made you realize that the captains don't need Bankai. You know, it was obvious, but yeah, let's get into this. This is chapter 549, Stormbringer. We see the members of the 10th Squad saying, "Oh, Captain guy got him. You know, he's out. We can fight. Yeah, even without his Bankai, he can't stand his ground against the Star Raiders and Quincy's. You know, but he's drunk with unbridled joy, pretty much." And then we go into Stormbringer, and we see omeade, and he's going up against Bg9. And this guy is weird looking because he's got a helmet on. He's got like a knight's helmet on, and he's got these whips coming out of his coat. I was like, it didn't. I didn't understand what the hell that was. And then out of nowhere, he comes up with this machine, his minigun. This minigun out of nowhere. And I'm like, what? Minigun? Out of nowhere. But yeah, and these whips, which I'm guessing what I'm thinking what it is that his body is composed with these strands of these whips that composed of his entire body, and he uses them to his whim. At least that's what I think it is. So yeah, he's on top of omeade, asking him where Soi Fong is, which is Division Command Captain. I'm asking the third time, and he's expecting an answer. And he's like saying how you searched everywhere for her and so on and so forth. And he says, "Beats me." And he's like, "How thick are you?" I have no freaking clue, so I can't tell you. And say that he's the type of guy that can't help but throw his superior under the bus as it means to saving his own ass. And he was like saying that even if you manage to track her down, she'll wipe the fucking floor with you. And he's saying, refusing to answer 3 times, perhaps I need to ask a different matter. Then he comes out with this fucking whip. This is almost like I thought it was like a lance. It was a knife. I figured it was a lance. He comes out with it, and it's like swing, and he has at the end of the whip, and he's like saying, "Who the hell was that out of the blue like that?" He sees his sister, and she's saying Oni-sama. And I was like, oh shit. Oh shit. This is gonna get heavy. And that was pretty good. I like that turn of events there. And like, I think it's like a couple of next scenes, a couple of next slithers of slides, panels. He's saying, is she related to you? You need not to answer. Saying that there's a match of over 50% for them, where there are 3 other members out who will match with 30% within the 30-mile radius. They will cease to exist if you refuse to answer my question. Boom! Have a mace to your fucking helmet. I was just, man, he just came out with that. And I was looking at Justice Review. He's like, props to Omeade. You're damn right. Props to Omeade. Yo, this guy went in. He was like, you fuck with my sister, you're getting my mace. Yeah. Yeah. So he hits him with like, that was a great scene. And he says, get your filthy hands off Mario. And then he's saying that his refusal will reply and saying, if I let go of her, her internal fluids will leak out and her bodily organs will cease to function. Are you okay with this happening? The way he talked, Bg9, felt like a machine. I mean, for Christ's sake, in this chapter, he came out with a minigun. I can only safe to assume this guy must be an android. Android 17 and 18 are calling. Like, where did you put, you know? At least that's what it seems to me. I mean, his name's Bg9. I mean, you gotta figure he's gotta be an android. So, what ends on happening is he's saying there's a possibility you're temporarily shocked, and he's saying I'll give you 15 more seconds to expect an answer. And he's saying unforgivable, it's unforgivable, and he's saying Omeade's like, I'm gonna beat the living shit out of you, and he's saying your 15 seconds are up. That's a shame. And he comes out with this minigun, and I was like, and you look closely at the minigun, and if you look closely, there are these connecting, like, I guess you call them whips from the minigun. And I'm thinking, yeah, that's probably it. This guy must have these whips that connect to his body, or he's just a strand of like whips, of like these thin strands, and that's what makes up his body. At least that's what I think so. Tell what you guys think. But that's what I think. And he basically comes out with this minigun. He's about to shoot Omeade with this minigun. And he's like, shoot! And then, boom! Minigun destroyed. And then we see Soi Fong saying, I was under the impression that Quincy's used bows and arrows. But after witnessing that, I guess they're quite civilized. And give it up for Soi Fong. You know, not the most favorable character in Bleach, as far as females are concerned, but give it up for Soi Fong. Did her homework. Went and did some major ass training. Yeah. She gave it to Bg9, like, for sure. And then she's bringing up the point that, because he says that my sensors didn't detect anything. And he said sensors didn't detect anything. So that's another clue that this guy must be a machine. And she's like, oh, don't make me, saying that. She says, please, Dad left me out of the, I forgot the name of it, but she calls it the Onamitsuka-do if I couldn't conceal my Risatsu. And he's like conforming to that. Why are you in that form? Really? And she's saying that comes to a shock with you. It's the Shunko. So pretty much, she explains to him that she's mastered her Shunko. Well, she perfected it to a certain degree that she can use it to make different adjustments to it. And it's really hers now for her Shunko. And it wasn't, and GC also starts telling her, but your Shunko should be far from optimal. Whose fault it is, assuming that my Shunko remaining complete, saying that she says that it was completed after her fight with Yoruichi, and that she's tempering it and forging it to boost its effectiveness, and now it's hers alone, I guess. And then she brings it out, and I'm like, oh shit! And saying that it's wind, and that, like a vortex upon release, as such, once if I invoke it, I can fight until the heart's content. while remaining constantly clad in my shunko. And then she says, "You have my thanks for stealing my bankai, because without you stealing my bankai, there's no way I could have mastered shunko to this extent." Now, here's what I want to bring up. This is the second captain that had their bankai stolen. And the second captain who just knocked the shit out of one of the stern readers. Now, mind you, they're probably going to have a counterattack, the stern readers, because they're going to fight next book, next chapter. They'll get their counterattack. But still, yeah, credit's due. The captains were not slouching. They were going back and saying, okay, we got to erect our shit back together. And that's what Soi Fong did, and that's what Hitsugaya did. And she comes in and she does internal shunko and just shoots the out of him. And then Hitsugaya realizes that he realizes the resistance belongs to Soi Fong, that she's fighting as well. And he's like, "Oh, look, things are looking up, Captain. Shall we go, captains?" Indeed. However, and then we see Busby frozen to the side, saying, "Oh, you've hurt my feelings. You're gonna toss me aside like some kind of guinea pig." And he's saying, "Oh, I hate Busby. He's such a fucking retard. He's such a retard, Busby. He's like, he thinks he's hot shit. Oh, I'm hot shit." And he says, "I haven't even broken a sweat yet." And then we also see Soi Fong. In the distance, we see Bg9. And even with Bg9, you see a light. So I'm like, okay, so this guy must be a robot. Yeah. You see a light peering through his helmet thing. I'm like, robot. Where's the Terminator? "I'll be back." That's what I want to say. That's Arnold Schwarzenegger in there. Yes, Bg9, he's Arnold Schwarzenegger. But anyway, yeah. And so pretty much it's saying that they're going to, that he's still standing, and they're going to go through their counter-strike. And that's the end of the chapter. Like I said, this was a great chapter. Really liked it. Liked what they did in this chapter. I personally like the fact that the captain's coming out without bankais, and they can hold their own against these stern ridders. So this is a good change of pace. Now, obviously, they're going to have their counterattack now. The stern ridders. Busby's an idiot. I'm sorry. Anyone who likes Busby, I'm like, come on. This guy's... Oh, he's a hothead. He uses heat. Well, here, how about I cut your head off? Well, do me a favor, Busby. Do something with your hair. You look like a douche. You look like a douche. Sorry. But Busby looks like a douche. Listen. Mohawks are out. Mohawks are out. I'm sorry, man. They're out. But, yeah. So they're going to have their counterattack. And like I said, this chapter was pretty good. Omeade was boss. You know, trying to say, get the hell away from my sister. And Soi Fong. No bankai. Shunko. Boom. Going in. So, this is good. I like to see that this is happening in Bleach. They're not using their bankais. They perfected big time moves. Shunko for Soi Fong, and then Hitsugaya with his sword perfected this move that he did against Busby. But now they're going to have their counterattack, so they're going to have to figure out something to counter against these sterners. But good. I like this, but this chapter was pretty good. So yeah, we'll see for next week how these two fights progress. Hopefully we get something going on with Ichigo soon. Because, I mean, you know, or the group in Recomundo. Because I want to see that shit too. But all in due time. Kuba will bring it up. And we'll see it and all that jazz. So yeah, that's the story, people. Bankai 922. See you guys later. Later today, since I just did this, I will do 2 anime series reviews and a manga series review. Blood Lad, Fate, Ilia, and Senshi Boys. So yeah, look forward to that. I'm Bankai922. See you guys later. Soi Fong. No Bankai. Shunko. Bitch. Boom. That's what it's about. Yo. And omeade. Get your filthy fucking hands off my sister, you son of a bitch. Reject Robocop. Yes, I went there. I don't care. So yeah, that's the story. See you guys later. Peace.